Success usually comes to those who are too busy to be looking for it. Henry David Thoreau. My friends, we see stocks are down, bonds and gold are up, Bitcoin is down. Let's jump into these charts and we will be giving you our trade execution summary grid. Remember, that's free for anyone who signs up at chartingwealth.com. It comes in your show notes that are emailed to you each and every day. That list is never spam, never shared. Chartingwealth.com. Let's jump into the charts. We told you yesterday that we were looking at a 70% bullish position in both the S&P and the NASDAQ. They have pulled back just a little bit for the day. You can see this week higher highs. We've already closed Wednesday, and it doesn't look like we're even halfway up toward. Now, it could be a big Thursday and Friday, so could get up to average volume. We were right there at average volume on the latest 2-day, which is a good sign. And of course, you see we've been average volume going all the way back to, my word, to the 16th of May. So this latest run-up has been decent on the 2-day. We had a lot of volume in the morning, in the afternoon, where after in the morning we had a nice bump up. We had things pull back some on us, but again, 0.29%. We stay at 70% bullish with an 80% back test accuracy. And again, we are looking for the market to continue going up. There can always be, as we say, exogenous events that can change everything. But right now, we have an uptrend on the weekly with weekly consolidation, green candles resuming. We've got, again, on the 2-day chart, it is moving up very nicely. 195-minute chart, we see an uptrend with correction, green candle strengthening, and again, our 5-day plus probability and prediction is 70% due to multiple multi-frame uptrend supports. So we will continue to stay long in this market. We've got a little ways to go before we hit that prior high that we go back to where it hit 3 times and couldn't go above it back in January and mid to late February. So we'll keep an eye on the S&P. Now, NASDAQ 100, it pulled back a little bit too. However, we are still 70% directional probability over the next 5 days with an 80% back test accuracy. Again, we see the uptrend and it just continues to move up. Look at that. We can see where the prior high was. What was that? 538.04, 536.78. So we're getting really close to where things were before as things just keep ticking up. Look at just that nice stair steps going right up the 2-day chart. Decent volume, average volume on this latest one that completed today. But we can see where things popped up in the morning and then pulled back in the afternoon on the half day with decent volume in the morning and afternoon. So again, we'll keep an eye on things. That doesn't change our prediction. Again, staying at 70%, directional probability, 80% back test accuracy. So let's go from stocks to bonds. Now, bonds ticking up again. We saw where bonds moved down strong on Friday into Monday and then started switching around Tuesday and moving up. They were up a little bit today. That doesn't change our bearishness on bonds at 85% with an 83% back test accuracy. That remains the same. But again, I keep looking, and you guys know my telltale sign for a beautiful turnaround is what we see here. We go all the way back to December of last year. We had a nice move down. We had an interim low with, again, average volume. Then we had a green spinning top turnaround. I'd have felt really great about it if we would have had average volume there. We didn't, but we did have a beautiful climb up. And again, that's typically the telltale sign that we look for of a rotation over. Here, we're going into our 3rd week of dojis. It's really interesting. Last week, good volume. Looked like it could be a turnaround there, but this week did not follow through. And again, our math tells us that we are still to stay short. So I'm listening to that. I don't see it taking off. I mean, it's up a little bit on this last 2-day candle, but it was up more on 2 ago and then down. But it is trying to move itself up. But again, it's not breaking that sideways spell. One of two things is going to happen. It's going to go up or it's going to go down. Our math says going down. If I see a green candle, spinning top with lots of volume, I'm going long, but I don't see it yet, my friends. That's where we are on bonds. Let's go to gold. Gold a-booming. Gold, 65% backtest accuracy. 65% directional probability. 67% backtest accuracy. That remains the same. And of course, we saw gold going down on Thursday and Friday, then sliding along this week, popping up today 0.54%. So 0.5%. Again, gold has been meandering around this area since it hit its high back on the week beginning the 21st of April. Again, we are still 65% bullish. That's more than a coin toss, but not a whole lot more. But it does seem to be trying its best to plug along, but hasn't taken off. Look, haven't had volume since that big down, since the down week after the prior high. So again, not a whole lot on the 2-day chart. Dojis, red dojis. So for 4 days. So again, not a lot going on with gold. Lastly, let's look at Bitcoin. We are bullish, 60% on Bitcoin. Again, not much more than a coin toss, 60% backtest accuracy. And as we look at it, it was down for the day 0.68%. Since Bitcoin reached its high of highs that week, beginning the 19th. You know, the next week down a little bit, then a doji last week and this week trying to recover. And of course, we had things going up on Monday and Tuesday, and then pulling back some here on Wednesday in the afternoon. But we are still long Bitcoin. So here's where we are. We are bullish on stocks at 70%, both the S&P and the NASDAQ. We are bearish on bonds at 85%. We are bullish on gold at 65% and Bitcoin at 60%. That is where we are, my friends. If you have questions, problems, concerns, we always love to hear from you. Don't hesitate to reach out to us. Email is cw@chartingwealth.com. Remember, Patreon members, the only place you can get my book, 3-Wave Trading Advantage, is by being a Patreon member. It's one of the first things you get along with our 3-part series, Options Made Simple, the Charting Wealth Way. If you appreciate what we do here for free for you every day, then support us. God bless, my friends.